Hello and welcome to this review of Early Times Kentucky Whiskey, aged at least 36 months, 80 proof, introduced in 1860 and owned by Brown-Forman, the Brown-Forman company since 1923. I already took the plastic off the bottle neck, okay? It's just plastic that keeps saying established in 1860 over and over. Alright, I bought this bottle at Winn-Dixie grocery store for $8.99, okay? Same process, it's got some writing here, I'm going to summarize it. Same process of distilling using crystal clear Kentucky water, select grains, and a special yeast. Matured in oak barrels. And then down here it has an age statement. Matured at least 36 months in reused cooperage. So they're probably using used Jack Daniel's barrels. And if it's less than 4 years, they have to give an age statement. Okay, I've never had this, but it's one of those whiskey brands that I've seen my whole life, you know, everywhere. It's common. Now, it's inexpensive. It did win a silver medal in 2006 at the San Francisco World Spirits competition. And its biggest reward, I guess, is the super high volume of sales in the United States and around the world. There are some other variants of it. But we only get the standard product here, okay? And if you look at the Brown-Forman website or the Early Times website, they don't reference any of the variants. None of the flavored versions or any of that stuff. The stronger proof versions. So this is all I can talk about. We're going to do an examination of it. That's the plan with William Kepley and John O'Neill and some others perhaps coming up. Distillery number 354, Early Times, Kentucky. That's like a wax stamp. Of course, it's just paper here. And a map of Kentucky in the middle, or parts of Kentucky. That's another Kentucky whiskey, Barton, from Bardstown, Kentucky, and Los Angeles, California. That's why I say American whiskey, but it did originate in Kentucky. You can get it from there or LA. Canadian Limited, bottled in Owensboro, Kentucky, but it's distilled in Canada. Alright, anyway, let's check out the Early Times. There's a lot of video reviews. It's going to take a long time to watch those. It's a typical whiskey color, that kind of amber, a lighter amber, more of a gold amber, I guess you'd say. You can get some good performance from these 3-year-old aged whiskeys, you know, aged in used barrels. Yeah, it's nice, I guess, if they use them once for the first time with the bourbons, but it may not really matter. We're going to find out because I'm going to try to put this up in some blind taste tests against other things that, you know, like Jack Daniel's, Jim Beam, those variants. Old Crow, so we'll see how it holds up. I mean, I don't know. I've never even tasted it yet. So some alcohol eggs. The aroma, very woody. Somebody was getting me, he insisted last week that I taste this Evan Williams, the black label. I was like, well, I'm going to review that one day. No, try it. I was at his house. He said, what do you think? Just a little bit, like an ounce. I said, well, it's very woody. It has a lot of wood and some vanilla. And he looked at me funny, like that was strange for me to say that. And I said, well, what do you expect? Like he thought I was saying something bad about it. It's very spicy in the nose as well. So you get spiced, almost said spiced bread, but it's really not that. But spices, like a peppery thing, so it must have a pretty good rye component. I don't know what, you know, what that would be. They're not going to give you too much information on the grains, all right? From what I can tell on something like this, less than $9 a bottle. You got to look at it like most of the consumers are buying it because it's less than $9. They're not examining it and analyzing it to the hilt, right? But they like it. Okay, all right. So The appearance is nice. The aroma is very nice. Very nice. So we're starting off in a very positive vein here. It's looking good. It's smelling good. It's pricing out really good. So let's go. Yeah. Okay, it's like a standard whiskey, American whiskey. If you drink enough, I have not. But if you have drunk enough, excuse me, if you have drunk enough, then you'll be familiar with the flavor. I'm somewhat familiar, just getting into this the last 3 or so years. It's a jet. It must be a Navy jet going to the Naval Air Station in Belchase, Louisiana. But there's a commonality there, and then there's a commonality in the taste. The wood, a little char from the barrel, some spice from the rye, I think, and it's got that. It's a medium, and once again, standard mouthfeel. And the finish is pretty good. It's not hanging around too long. It's not dropping off too quick. Seems appropriate. There's a noticeable burn, but not an unexpected burn from the 40% alcohol, which once again is your typical modern day 20 teens ABV for whiskey and most other liquors. Your 80 proof. I mean, this is incredibly balanced, and the production values on this are extremely high. This is a company, Brown-Forman. Yeah, they're macro to a great extent. They're one of your multinational mega corporations, blah blah blah, et cetera, so on and so on. You know what I mean? But these are masters at what they do. They're not selling an enormous array of extremely popular whiskey and brandy and rum and gin, etc. products by making bad stuff that people hate, okay? So when you read these reviews, and I haven't read any yet, but I'll be getting to them, that taste like shellac and, a dumpster behind a grocery store, or a restaurant. You can't really pay much attention to that because no one's going to drink it if it smells and tastes like that. It's obviously a very well-made product. It's just that the company is so huge, they can afford to sell these loss leaders. Okay, that's I guess what they're called, loss leaders. They may not make a huge profit with it, but it pulls people into what they're doing. And people do get attached to companies and what they produce, and they say, oh yeah, I like Brown-Forman, all that stuff is A-OK, or Anheuser-Busch, their stuff's A-OK. You just get that brand loyalty or corporate loyalty. Now, people in the whiskey snob faction or the beer snob faction, they're going to revolt against that and say, no, it's a major product, so by default I'm going to hate it and all that, but I don't buy into that. So it's very well done. What's wrong with it now? What are the negatives? None. I'm noticing some coconut and some mint coming into play, even peppermint or wintergreen. Wow. You wouldn't think, when I bought it, I didn't know what to think. $8.99, this seems ridiculous, but you wouldn't think for a price like this it would have that much complexity, but in fact it does. It really does. So would I recommend going out and buying some? Absolutely, I would recommend it. It'll be a nice little adventure every time you pour a little glass like I did and check it out. I mean, it's a pretty fascinating product, and I'm very happy that I bought it, and I'm looking forward to the group examination of it. So, I mean, this thing is hitting all the right marks and hitting no negative marks. So thanks for watching this video production. And I mean, I'm almost like overwhelmed with it because I'm so shocked that the quality could be that high, that pinpoint at such a low price point. Thank you for watching this video production. Once again,